Then Eden will be, in a sense, killing the love instrumentally. I don't know if it was C.P. Quincy or John Pepper Clark that wrote this, but he said, the casualties. He said the casualties are not only those who are dead. They are well. He said the casualties are not only those who are wounded, though they await death by installment. Some of us in our love instrumentally by how we define 1 Corinthians 13:4. So, yeah. You kind? Are you easy? Are you boastful? Then right there, the question how to keep love alive is on you. How do I improve? How do I grow? How do I evolve to make sure that I am not instrumentally leaking our love? Back to you, Chinda.
Thank you so much. I see one of the key highlights here is decision. And it's so vital that you are hearing us, you are listening to us, and see this as a mirror and see this as an examination point, because it's very easy to say, I'm in love, I love. But when you begin to look at those specific areas of love, patience, kind, tolerance, not easily provoked, you begin to ask yourself, am I actually this? And just also to add, for me as well, love is an intentional choice.
Yes.
to fully develop the expression of your higher self, so that someone else will feel loved, valued, and wanted. Yeah. Think about that. It's your intentional choice to fully develop your higher self to make somebody feel loved, wanted, cherished, and admired. Now think about this. In your relationship, in your marriage right now, if you're not fully working on you, it's very easy to say, I'm working on him. My husband have to change. My wife have to change. It's very easy to point fingers. But if you begin to work on you, we've talked about patience now. We've talked about easily angered. We've talked about kindness. You ask yourself, what's being kind look like? How can you express kindness? In this marriage, in this relationship, am I actually intentionally being kind? And to be kind is being friendly. To be friendly is to be tolerant, to accommodate, to also see other people's flaws, not to see them as a punching bag, a place whereby they can become miserable, but rather your kindness will appreciate their low states and their own quirky side, and using that to also express you to a fullest level so that they can enjoy you. So if you're in your marriage, your spouse is not seeing you as somebody that value them, somebody that is there to tolerate them, somebody that is there to accommodate their full vulnerabilities, their real authentic self, somebody that's not hiding or pretending or trying to camouflage or become a chameleon just because of your presence, then it doesn't mean that you're actually loving. So the question we're asking you, how intentional are you in terms of loving and being decisive in the way you treat your spouse? I'm going to go to the next question, which says, we talked about love now. Okay, now, can this love actually disappear or dissipate in marriage after some time, and why?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a couple of years ago I would have said no, but that's very it's the answer is yes, with 3 exclamation marks. Yeah. It is not the love or the commitment to love that in a sense disappears. It is the expressions of the love. It is the paraphernalia of the love. It is the attraction. And that's why in thinking about this topic, I want to tell a simple principle I call the seed principle. A seed principle. Again, I love to teach in frameworks that are easy to remember, so that when a rough day and you're getting confused, you can grab the toolbox. So the seed principle, please someone put it in the comment, is the SEED. Your question is, can love wane? Yes. the love win, like every living organism, needs certain nutrients for nourishment and for growth. What not nourished will diminish. Please write that down too. Whatever is not nourished will, when there's no nourishing, there's diminishing. The law of diminishing returns is that nothing remains at a constant state. In the of nourishing, there will be diminishing. So can love disappear? No, agape love is not supposed to disappear because it is not anchored on any external thing. But remember that there are also aspects of other loves that are important for the well-being, eros and all this other. So you can actually choke the life. You can choke life out of a beautiful feeling you share. And if the other person is not making the decision to keep on loving you, they can get tired. You see, they can get tired. So yes, whatever is not fed or watered or nourished disappeared. A lot of good marriages failed. And again, there is no abuse. In some of these exceptions, there is no abuse. There is addiction. And there is no addiction. You know what they went through? Something that like the foundation of the AAA. There's no there's no adultery. There is no addiction. There was what? Apathy. There was apathy. And apathy always leads to feelings of abandonment. So you're asking, how will there be apathy? I love her, but one person is not feeling you. They're not feeling you because you stopped nourishing the love. You stopped nurturing the love, and the love kept diminishing. Many people happen in marriage. The way people just enter plane and just strap themselves and expect the air hostess to serve them. Expect the air hostess, they're like, come, how do you remove this belt? They do nothing. They're not involved. And if that's you and you're in a marriage, there can only be one, how so much that one person can keep oiling the wheel. So yes, love. I've seen a lot of good people that had something great, and it just went. You know why? And they're like, but I love her, I don't cheat on her. And I'm like, yeah, there was apathy. You know what apathy is? In case you are casual about apathy, apathy means that there is the absence of nourishment. You are doing on-the-job trainings in your new, you are learning new skills. You are going for courses in your new job. You are growing, you are grooming. The perfume you used years ago is not the same perfume. You are changing, and you are growing your physical body. You are growing your career, but you're not growing your relationship. Let's sit on apathy. Apathy was so bad that even Jesus Christ did not know what to do with apathy. Jesus said, you see, I wish that you were hot.
Lukewarmness.
I wish you were hot. But even if you are not hot, I'd rather you are cold. When you are cold, I know where to put you. When you are
what to do,
how to define you. When you are apathetic, it is pathetic. Jesus was confused by apathy. He said, because I'm not sure where to place me. You are neither hot or cold. And when you are in that ambivalent, apathetic, routine, I don't care, he said, I will spit you out. Now put in principles to marriage. If one or more of the spouses are apathetic, you can kill a good thing. Because 100%. My mom that everybody's dog is nobody's dog. Has been Obi, has Bingo eaten? I don't know. Ask if he has Bingo eaten, ask Susan. Susan has Bingo eaten, and you are, because everybody assumed that the next person will feed Bingo, and I assume that and nobody fed Bingo, and Bingo died. So a quick seed principle. Go back to this. The first S you want to consider in keeping your marriage alive, your relationship vibrant, is the S. And the S is for season. Marriages have many different seasons. China, you can share the 5 seasons. If you don't understand that, frustration will just be frustrating you. There are many people that were entering into season 2 and season 3 and they got tired. Season 2 did not feel like season 1. And they're like, we don't again. We are now quarreling. No, you are not quarreling. Because we are quarreling, we hate each other. No, you are getting into the season real.
Yeah.
You are
That's
of butterflies. You know the first season, the electricity stage, you know, it is fireworks where you are in love and in love. Yeah, even your spouse party, you're like, you just farted. I like it. I like you're in that stage, and that's a beautiful stage because that's there's a lot of hormones at play. When you now move from that stage and you move to the next stage, and there's a strange season, we become confused. That is the season where now both of you, your personalities are speaking, trauma is showing, altars are speaking, you are real. And in that second 5 year, where you know responsibilities are beginning to show, you're wondering what is happening here. Now, of a stage between 5 years and 10 years. And if there is no deal breaker or any crisis on your covenant, many people, because they are tired, because that's where a lot of differences and pressures happen. I want to speak to you today. You can't keep your marriage alive if you don't understand the S that is for season. There are seasons that do not have fireworks. So understand season. One of the biggest things I teach is if you understand seasons and you will honor the difference and the uniqueness of any season, you will not see the season as against you. You will see the season as a wave that you need to ride. That's the season where both of you begin to show yourself.
Real you.
The real you. It's not that one is small. It's not, it doesn't press this way. That's where both of you, the aggression begins to show. Whatever kept in check for the first 3 years. And that's usually that also childbirth and body changes and responsibilities and bills. You grow from a family of 2 to 4 suddenly like that. If you don't respect seasons, and this is mental relationship and marriage principle, but let me tell you, a life principle. Many frustrated people had no reason to be frustrated. They were just in another season. There was God spoke to my heart. He said, Eden, you are not a corn. Eden, you are not a corn, you are an acorn. He showed me 2 different fruits. Sorry, two different plants, corn. You just plant it 1 year, you are boom, the corn is showing. So if you are looking at someone who is a corn, they are already in their 3rd harvest, and you are looking at your seed, you are not seeing anything. He said, they sound alike, but they are not the same. You are not a corn, you are not a corn. And by the time the harvester of the corn is already selling and roasting corn and already dancing, you are an acorn, you are not even seeing any plant. But when the acorn seed breaks in the ground and begins to grow, it grows into a mighty oak tree and stays forever. What kind of seed are you? What season are you in marriage? When comparing you, I knew the season I was 5 years ago. We couldn't show up for everything. I was always the mom or dad who is excusing themselves. No weddings. Why? Because we had 3 little babies. There was a season I had 3 kids under 3. Then a season where I had 5 kids under 5. And it was not easy to do the couple this getaway. I wanted getaway, but the only thing to do was inside our living room watching LMN. So imagine if I didn't understand that. Then I look at someone like, this person, my life is not married. Their season.
Comparison starts.
Exactly. So you cannot be in a finishing season and be comparing yourself to someone in an expanding season. You cannot be in a starting season and be comparing yourself to someone in a finishing. If you understand seasons, you would know you're not going to be excusing quote unquote bad behavior, but you will respect what is happening. Your marriage so that you can work with what you have in the season you are and take your corn and be happy, or see the season you are and look at acorn and know that even though you are seeing a tiny plant, there is an oak tree in the making. Seasons. The same principle. The S is very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely, very, very
I want
important.
you to
Absolutely.
it's Chinda before we move on.
You see, this is so critical for anybody listening, and for those watching and those that are gonna watch in replay. Don't take this S for granted, because the ignorance of this S has caused dissolutions, has caused more headache, has caused more pain, more problem. Because think about it: if you don't know something, how will you navigate that thing? So that's why knowledge of the season is critical, so that you know what to do in order to navigate each of those seasons. So the passion season, which is just the butterfly we're talking about, maybe for those that are not married, you are engaged now, you are courting now, and you can see the way you're so excited. In fact, you can't wait to have sex. You are really, all your body is just so sparkle everywhere. And then you get in there, and for those that are married, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, what the lovey is good, it's amazing. But just know that it's hormone driven, hormone based, it's passion and sensually driven. After that point, then maybe you listening to me, you are now in the realization season. Maybe that's the season you are in right now. You are listening to me, and the realization is that you're even wondering, that this man I married, I'm not sure. I think I made a mistake. You begin to feel so disappointed. You even begin to regret. This is where you begin to tell some of your friends, and they begin to judge your husband, judge your wife, judge your state, and you begin to read other things, joining divorce group, dissolution group, joining group, hating husband group, hating wife group, and before you realize it, your mind is so clouded, and you're not fully informed. What you're gonna do? You will say, this marriage was not supposed to be. Anyway, why will I even be here? Even though there is no physical danger to life, there is nothing happening. It's just that your personality's weakness is coming so strong now. Before the cutting time, hi, how are you? When you call, you do. I just ate jollof, and I bought a bag for you, and I just flew back from Paris. It was really, yeah, your perfume, your Paco Rabanne, I got it. Oh my God, I love you. Okay. Oh my God, I'm blushing. What am I gonna say? Are you coming back? Yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, I'm just like, I'll get you KFC. Is that what you want? Yeah. What about the shopping? Yeah, no, I give you $2,000 just to buy a shoe. Is that okay? Wow, your baby is coming. Love you. All those mushy. That was what you were doing. Now the reality has come. Yeah, things will not be the way it was. So, and after that time, the next one now is, oh my goodness me, this is where the conflict will begin to happen, because you did not realize that you guys are different. The weaknesses are coming, and it's not that your husband is a bad person. It's not that you are a bad person as a wife. It's just that your needs and your wants and your demands and your expectations are clashing now, and you're wondering, this thing is not working. Every time we are quarreling, every time we are always arguing, it doesn't end like this. In fact, I don't think I can do this anymore, because you did not prepare yourself. When you're not prepared, problem will overtake you. That is the fact. So if you have those skills, you will navigate that period. And you know what? When you begin to solve all these your little issues, problem, what kind of food, where to go, where not to go, and all this kind of thing, you begin to understand yourselves better, and begin to understand the skills that you need to acquire to navigate that period. And then, you know what happened? Cooperation. You start getting close. I'm telling you, after quarrel like this, you resolve. If you have sex, it's heaven and earth. But angels are so excited for you guys. Yeah. Why? Because things are now beginning to get better. You are learning more. It's not that conflict will not be there, but you are learning more about each other. You are getting closer. You are becoming more intimate. You understand each other's vulnerabilities and quack sides and flaws and shortcomings. You are appreciating it, and you're knowing how not to trigger their buttons and all that. And that continues to go. Then you get to a place of reunion. That's you begin to compassionate love. You are now more deeper. Everything you guys are, your conversations are deep. And you are so intimate.
Happy how it should be, because this
absolutely.
This is not riding on just butterflies. This is not riding on denial. You already know that they are. In fact, you become a sense a protector of their weakness.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That you become nurturing. You know that this man starts talking, he doesn't stop, or you know he's not good. So you start each other. That's when I like what you said. You move from cooperation to collaboration. You know, you first from conflict. You first went from charisma to conflict. From conflict, then you now entered cooperation, and that's where collaboration are like, I am not one, both of us are one. So that means that to be part of my life, for us to be one. As you versus me, I see it as one. Meaning that you are a better, excellent expression of me. I am a better expression of you. That is why seasons are important. I want to sit on it because half of they are genuinely frustrated people. That you look at the fact and you're like, this is frustrating. But in 10 years of coaching and counseling, many people that the frustration is a perception. Please write this down. The frustration is a perception. The interpretation they've given to the event, the summary they've given to the event, it is what has made it bigger than it is.
Yes.
If someone else marries the same wife that they're saying, and they are saying that person will have the best marriage.
Absolutely.
It is the law of perception. What goes on magnifies. If you have a hammer, everything becomes a nail. So I'm speaking of people who are just and their body is doing, like, you are looking at your spouse and for instance you are seeing Dorime. Dorime, like his reality is in Dorime state and you are confused. Check are you in the butterfly fireworks? Are you conflict is a life. I remember when the real conflict started showing up in my marriage, I was confused. One is a different temperament. Our temperaments, flow. But in my life, in my wildest imagination, with how I was when I got married, with everything I know and how much I was, I didn't think we would have conflict in our lives. In fact, I thought our insults would be sprayed with perfume. Yeah, man. But you get the point. I thought our house would be easy. So if you don't understand that conflict is a part of life, and that's another season, or result that will make you go back to the initial workbook exercise we did. If you just joined, please ask your friends. This is 2 marriage counselors. Please ask your friends to join. You will go back to 1 Corinthians 13 and say, is Eden patient? Is Eden you come and put your name. And I want to sit on what you said because it brings us, remember, we're on the seed principle. How can we keep love alive in marriage? Understand that. Then the other E is very important. You know what that is? Evolving. The same yesterday, today, and forever. Some of you still want to marry to the husband you married in 1960 before the war. He's not the same. You keep marriage alive if you do not do 2 things. You evolve and understand that your spouse is also evolving. So what we call this man has changed or this woman has changed is just them evolving. Even when evolution is positive, it can still trigger discomfort.
That's right.
Maybe you married someone that was not very assertive because they were not confident. They were timid because when you met Brother Lazarus or Brother Sylvester, they were as figure 1 and the belt used to go around their waist 10 times. Now and the belt is sitting on his waist and he's confident. He's now more vocal and he's, more confident, and you're like, this guy is no longer humble. No, he's Or when you married your wife, when you married her, she used to rub and shine, unku cream. And she didn't have a voice. She didn't understand the dimension of her ministry and her purpose and her gifts. She was docile because she was dependent on you for validation. And now growing It's been 10 beautiful years, or maybe not so beautiful years, but the fact is, you are not getting the memo. Sir, she is growing. She's identifying purpose. She's becoming more confident. She's taking classes and she's growing. And you still want the version, the analog version of the spouse you married in 1980. No, sir, it doesn't work that way. To keep marriage alive, you have to do two things. You evolve and also give room for your spouse to evolve. You evolve and give room for your spouse to evolve. And you shouldn't be threatened by how they are evolving. They were dependent on you. I have evolved. My spouse has evolved. We are constantly evolving. Evolving is a constant of life. You are not changing things. You are not growing. Some of us have prevented our spouses from growing. In fact, every growth you want to suppress them. Remember that real men support their wives and boys suppress their wives. Boys suppress their wives. Real men support their wives. Even if you're a woman, allow them. You know, I speak to a lot of spouses that are tired. You don't want her to go for a course. You don't want her to learn. You don't want her to have friends. You don't. I don't understand. So how can you keep your love alive? You married at 18, 19 or 20. So the second way to keep relationship is allow for positive evolving. They are curious, they are learning, they are no longer 20 something. They want to try new things, but you don't want it. You want the same thing. They want to introduce therapy because you're having problems. You don't want therapy. We agreed in 1974 that nobody will no third party, but it's not third party. You have an anger problem. You have an anger problem, and you don't want a solution. So the second E principle is evolve. Please make sure you are evolving, but don't just be evolving. Allow the other person to evolve. The worst thing is for a spouse to feel suffocated in marriage. Chinda, speak to that.
Yeah. You know, you see, when you say evolve, it sounds like it's a very big grammar. It's a very big grammar. It's simple, mature. It's simple. Keep growing. Right? It's very, very simple. Don't be where you were yesterday. The way you communicate, the way you reason, the way you talk, the way you look at life, the way you manage your finances, the way you manage your career, the way you manage your business, the way you manage your children, the way you manage each other, the way everything that you used to do on a daily basis, grow in it. That's what we're talking about. Just grow in it. Those aspects of love we talked about, because patience, you grow in patience, you grow in tolerance, right? You grow in, these are the things we're talking about. So it shouldn't sound like, oh, want to evolve, want to become from a human being to become a cat. No, that's not what we're saying. Okay, we're talking about those little things that is neglected. It's like inconsequential. Grow and get better at it, because the more you grow, the better you become to your spouse. Because all this issue of problem in your marriage, in your relationship, either as a man, as a woman, the biggest challenge that you will have in your marriage and relationship is the lack of skill to manage growth.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Lack of skill to manage growth, because growth is inevitable in your relationship. Right. It will happen, right? So you just need to allow it to flow. You just need to allow it to grow. And if you are growing, both of you are growing and you're working together, there is no way your marriage will remain the same. So it's just important, and for you to just get it at the back of your mind that growth is necessary to keep love alive. Because in your growing, you grow in your mindset, you grow in your thinking, you grow in your reasoning, you grow in your emotional intelligence, you grow in every aspect that makes human relationship exciting and wonderful. And this is critical for you to do. Let's go to the second E.
Yes. And let me say another dimension of it. The worst thing you can say in
Yeah.
any relationship, that's how I am. That's the worst thing. Please write that down. The
Oh my goodness.
relationship, that's take it or leave it. That's the worst thing. Because once you say that, the moment you say that's how I am, you are not growing.
Mm-hmm.
That is how
Mm-hmm.
I am. You take it or leave it is the worst arrogant statement, and it is indicative that there is no growth mindset.
That's right.